Hey guys, it is Tuesday, and that means there's a lot of new cards. It looks like they found the solution with lyrical reveals, and that is when they reveal lyrical, they also reveal like 20 cards and some Chronojet product. But we'll get to that later. So first off, let's look at the cards. First, we have the Demonic Jewel Dragon Ristal Gala. Auto in the rearguard circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you Soul Blast 4 or more cards at the same time for the cost of your Vanguard's ability this turn, you can put a card from your hand to your soul, draw one card, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and retire it, and in brackets, can only be used when you Soul Blast 4 or more cards at the same time. So this is basically the Drag Jewel support, right? I think they showed this off in the anime. I think this card is pretty average. It's like not that great. Like, okay, cool. Like, you know, you get to like plus, you get to neg1 your opponent in hand filter. So that's kind of okay. But otherwise, like, I don't think it's that special, and you know, all your cards kind of revolve around like soul blasting a lot. Some people have pointed out that this works with Bruce, because Bruce does soul blast out a bunch of stuff. So yeah, you can technically run this with Bruce, but again, it's just like not a great card in my opinion. I think there's like way more like better cards that you can run in Bruce. I guess like, since like you look at this card and it doesn't get anything like a power gain or anything like that, so you're like, wow, it's very easy to guard. But you can't forget that Drag Jewel does turn your opponent's power to 1, so technically it has gotten quite a decent amount of power up on top of like something like a Persona Ride. So it will be quite annoying. It'll be quite powerful, right, in terms of like power lanes. And then I guess getting the extra retire is kind of nice, because your opponent has to guard a lot, at the same time also replace cards in the field. So yeah, that's cool. But again, you know, I think they already showed off like a restander, so that's personally I think is already better. But yeah, cool. Then the next card that they revealed is Power Gem Dragon. So auto in the rearguard circle. When this unit boosts, if you soul blasted 4 or more cards at the same time for the cost of your Vanguard's ability this turn, counterblast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to one card from among them, put it into your hands, and put the rest into your soul. Again, it can only be used when you, like, you know, Soul Blast 4 and things. Again, this you know, the Soul Blast 4 thing does work with things like Bruce. This is kind of okay because you're CB1 and getting a card, so that's usually how a CB is costed. You know, you get a +1. This one does let you also put a card into your soul, so you can put like a soul that you need for like the next turn and basically set up your next turn. So yeah, it's pretty good for Drag Jewel and cool, right? Nothing too special there. So the next card we have is Silverhorn Beast Alpine. So this effect is auto on the rearguard circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until the end of that battle for every 2 of your grade 2 or greater units. If this unit gets power plus 10,000 or greater by this effect, at the end of that battle, bind this unit and countercharge 1 and soul charge 1. So this basically solves every single kind of soul and counter blast issue that specifically grade 3 Magnolia has. Now this does work with grade 4 Magnolia, but we're gonna start seeing, like, you know, the next card, right? Basically, spoilers. This one, Silverhorn Beast Serral. So this one is auto when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle from hand or deck. If you have a Vanguard with Silverhorn Beast in its card name, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Magnolia in its card name, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So this does help you get grade 4 Magnolia, so you don't get stuck at that stage at all. But it can also help you search for Persona Ride. And again, it's a Soul Blast 1 effect, so it kind of does suck. But at the same time, you have more cards that kind of mitigate that cost. And you also get to play like Inlet Pulse in grade 3 Magnolia, which is pretty good, right? Solves some draws. It just adds more consistency, adds more soul, basically things that you need. And then the second effect is continuous on the rearguard circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name, when you Persona Ride, also increase the power of your back row units, right? So, yeah, so I think the translation here is actually a bit wrong. The original text just says, if your Vanguard, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard, basically, grade 3 Magnolia Vanguard, so not a grade 3 or greater. But yeah, this one is just straight up, you know, supports grade 3 Magnolia, because its effect only works grade 3 Magnolia. But both effects support it, right? The first one helps you dig for Persona Ride, which was one of the big issues with old Magnolia, is that if you didn't Persona Ride, your deck just didn't do anything. But then you also kind of when you didn't do it, you know, you could rely on Dama Inarus, but that required soul. But now you have 2 ways to soul charge. You have this new guy, right? I don't know what this is. This is like a weird poodle dude. It's an Alpine, all right? You have Alpine now that helps you mitigate the counterblast and the soul blast effects. But then you also have things like Inlet Pulse, again, right? That does let you get some more kind of effects going on too. So more soul, more draw, more digging, basically. So that's kind of where we're at. I think grade 3 Magnolia, if they're putting more cards like this, it's definitely shaping up to be pretty good, because this is coming out in like set 7. So yeah, pretty crazy. Next we have this new Rideline for lyrical. Now I know a lot of people, this is where they go to sleep, but this is why I'm saving the best for last. But yeah, let's kind of get through the lyrical stuff as well. So first we have this is like a Twitter girl or something. I'm not sure, is it Twitter or like Instagram? Because I don't use Instagram, right? I use Instagram. I look at the hashtags and think it's Twitter, but then usually you don't, you know, put underscores. So I need the youngsters out there to tell me what it is. But yeah, I'll just call it the Twitter girl. Anyway, this is just, you know, your normal Rideline stuff. And then the second one, well, the first grade 1, right, is ready to go Kyoka. An auto, when this unit is read upon by a grade 2 with Kyoka in its card name, choose a grade from 1 to 3, declare it, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit card with the declared grade or magazine card from among them, reveal it and add it to your hand, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So kind of cool. You can kind of choose the grade that you're missing, and then hopefully you get in your top 3. You can kind of know the ratios anyway. You can see what's kind of revealed and, you know, pick the one with the high chance of hitting, things like that. All of that little jazz. Then we have a magazine here. So this is Lyrical Shooting Stars, right? Play this if you have a Vanguard with Kyoka in its card name for all of the following according to the number of your units. So if you have 2 or more grade 1 units, you draw 2 cards, choose a card from your hand, and discard it. So that seems like a really good effect, right? Then the second effect is 2 or more grade 2 units. Choose one of your units, and it gets power 10,000 until the end of turn. And then the last one is 2 or more grade 3 units, counter charge 1. So this is actually really good. You will try to get this as much, like all of the effects, because you can activate all of them. So you want like 2 grade 1s, 2 grade 2s, and then you want like an extra grade 3 because your Vanguard is already grade 3, and just get everything. I guess like it just really depends how much counter blast heavy the rest of the deck is. You might not need the counter charge, but I think like the power boost, like basically just a free power boost, and the draw 2 discard 1 is really strong. Actually really strong. You can start playing this from grade 1 as well. So you can start actually just digging and drawing cards from like grade 1 if you have this in your hand. So quite cool. It's quite cool. The grade 2 Kyoka is hashtag hot stuff Kyoka. And this is auto, when this unit is read upon by a grade 3 Kyoka in its card name, choose up to 1 magazine card from your drop and put it into your hand. If you did not put it into your hand, counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 magazine card, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So basically the cool thing about this is that you get the effect no matter what happens, right? Unless you get totally damage denied, then okay, you know, you can't search for that magazine. But yeah, if you just have 1 damage, all right, no matter who your magazine is, you could have played it the previous turn, and then you can salvage it, and then, or you can just search 1 out, right? So all of them are pretty good. I think you can just like hard mulligan. You can just hard mulligan for a magazine, and then kind of just play it like ASAP, and then on your grade 3, you can kind of grab the magazine back, and I think that's fine, right? And then the grade 3 Kyoka is hashtag make a trend Kyoka. Effect is act Vanguard circle once per turn. Soul Blast 1. Choose a grade from 1 to 3. Declare it. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 unit card with the declared grade from among them and call it to the rear guard circle, or choose up to 1 magazine card from among them and reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So you get a free card. Basically, you basically just get a free card. Second effect is Con Vanguard Circle. During your turn, if you played a magazine order this turn, all of your front row units get power plus 5,000, and that seems okay, right? Seems very. To be fair, like it's kind of nice to be able to filter your deck and get stuff, but you do have to declare a grade, and then if you miss, you just kind of feel bad, right? Top 5, I feel like might be a bit too low. I think top 7, you would hit it more often. Top 5, I feel like you have a good chance of missing, which is quite scary. But that's not all the reveals. So this is kind of the card that also ties everything together. This is Blue Frontier Archer. Con Regard Circle. During your turn, if you played a magazine order this turn, this unit gets power plus 5,000. And the second effect is Auto Regard Circle once per turn. At the end of your battle, your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacked. If you played a magazine order this turn, cost Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 and stand this unit. So you would be putting your magazine power on this girl, and you'll restanding her, right? And then, you know, your hot, well, not your hot stuff, your trendy girl, right? Your hashtag will give you a front row 5k, and this will get 5k, and this will basically just like, you know, double dip on that power. And that is kind of like the entire deck so far, right? The worst thing I can think about this is that, you know, you require magazine orders. Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Ava, where you need like research. And then what they did is they gave you like only one set of research, and then the deck didn't work. So then you had to wait for like a PR that's now selling for like a billion K, right? Like 6k for the holo or 3k to actually make the deck even work. So right now you have one magazine order. I'm curious to see if we're going to get another magazine order or if we're going to totally rely on that one magazine. Again, though, we do have like more ways to kind of dig for that order. At the same time, Ava also had it, and it required like another magazine or another order to make it work. The magazine so far, like that they revealed, is actually really good. I do like it. So, yeah, let's hope it's enough and they don't need to make a PR to make it work, because it's getting pretty annoying that you need PRs for everything. Overall, I think this deck so far, this Rideline that is revealed, is like, it's okay, right? It's nothing that's too amazing, not too insane. Yeah, it's kind of it. It's kind of it for me. But let's kind of look at this last thing that they revealed, and that is Chronojet Stride deck set. Now, this is going to be quite interesting. This is for Dark States. This is actually standard product. So if you look at the deck code, it's VGDSS03, right? If you look at the clan collections, the V clan collections, they are labeled as DVS. And then if you look at the premium collection, it is DPS. So wow, those are like, you know, V and premium, and then S is probably just standard. So that means we are probably very, very likely getting Chronojet in standard. And I think the question is, how are they going to do it, right? And there's so far a lot of speculation. They can do it the very easy way, the very lazy way, and that is they can give you a Chronojet, right? They'll give you like, this is going to be probably like a festival collection kind of set, or maybe just like a bunch of cards specifically for Dark State. Like, I think it's just going to be Chronojet cards, like literally just Chronojet cards, right? But what they can do is that they'll give you like a Rideline, basically, you know, and they'll buff the Rideline with like, well, let's start off. How are they going to do Stride? So the laziest way they can do Stride is just do it like in V, where you put the 4s inside your deck, and then you Stride on the Chronojet, and then just grab them out of your deck. And they have different ways to put the 4s back into your deck, and they'll give you 2 strides. And if we want to go full nostalgia, it's going to be Metallica Phoenix, right? As your first stride, and you'll probably want one of that. Or it'll be, and then the second stride will be like next stage, right? Because it's how it is, right? It's how it is, yeah. Or they could, you know, surprise, Cronus Command, you know, that's also kind of well known. I think, interesting enough, I think for lore-wise, Chronojet is, I don't know if it's still around, but it's been referenced. And it's like the dude that like made Dark States what it is today. And since like Chronojet like just goes around in time, and they've mentioned things like, you know, strides are from the future, but now we're in the future. What does that mean? Is Chronojet still around? Does he age? I don't know, right? Does he exist outside of time and space? No one knows. It's got everything to do with time. We've played like Mystery, Flare Dragon, and Gear Chronicle, and we just like lose like 5 turns in a row. So it could be anything, but I think the interesting thing is that it might not even be an encounter card, because lore-wise, like Chronojet could still be around. It does. Personally, I don't think it matters. How else could they do it, as well as that they could just give you a Stride deck as well, you know, grade 1 Steam Breath Dragon, grade 2 Smoke Gear Dragon, right? And that's kind of like the most iconic cards. And then they'll all have like buff effects, so, you know, you'd want to run 4 of each, because like Steam Breath will be able to count as like a grade 3 to discard, and then you can like, you know, just Stride for free, and then your Smoke Gear would be something else that is also very buff. And that's like the easiest way to do it, right? You just like have, you know, 4/4/4, and then make you like want to put in some other random Dark State stuff within the deck, and then you have like a new Rideline, a new deck that you can play with like the nostalgia, because hey, next stage is back, and I have Persona Ride instead of like Force and things like that. So that's like the very easy and lazy way to do it. The other way is like they can manipulate the ride deck a bit more, right? So if you like ride, like if you ride like a Steam Breath, you get to put like grade 4s into your ride deck, and then later on you get to Stride from the ride deck. Now, I think when you put cards back into the ride deck though, right, they do go back like face down. I'm not 100% sure. I'll need to like double check on that. But they can do some weird stuff with the ride deck, and I think that could be like the less lazy way, the more interesting way to do it. And then you wouldn't get like grade 4s like clogged in your deck. But that's like that's like asking a bit much, you know? Maybe like they want to use their Rideline gimmick more, but at the same time, it's like the easiest way is just to do it the V way, right? Like Stride deck set. Hey, here's the set. Put in your deck. You're good to go. And hope you don't draw your grade 4s. That's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think, right? They'll like in the comments below, how do you think they'll do it? They do have some reveals coming up, so we'll find out probably next week. So next Tuesday, they will reveal to us the Chronojet Dragon card. They said they will reveal the card. Doesn't mean they'll reveal the effect. We'll have to see, right? I think they will. And then, well, they have a lot of time, right? It's coming out on November 11th. So it's still got a couple of, like, over like 3 months still to go. So this is quite early. So they're going to show the card. I think they'll show everything in it. And then they do have a card illustration as well that they will show, right? And then on the 23rd, they will kind of show you the design of the product. And then they will also show you more card illustrations. And then on the 30th, they will show you more designs and more illustrations. So just a lot of, you know, showing off. I'm pretty sure like the rest of the illustrations, they'll probably just show you what other cards are coming into the deck. And we'll see your old favorites, most likely next stage. Because, hey, that's like, it's nostalgia, right? But they might be able to, they might throw more things in. We haven't really seen too much of like the Gear Chronicle, like actual Gear Chronicle. We've seen like the Steam Maidens and things like that. But we haven't seen like the Jet Boys, you know, the Jet Boys and things like that. So I might be pretty interesting to see. Might be pretty interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, how they'll do it. What are your speculations? What do you think of the new Rideline for Lyrical Montessero? And what do you think of Grade 3 Magnolia? And I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Bye.